Let's continue with the human nervous system, central nervous system.
Okay.
Started. We had discussed entirely about the human brain. Hope you remember that properly. Completely all the parts, their locations. Then we have started with the spinal cord. Okay, we have seen
spinal cord. Yes.
spinal cord. It's a continuation of the brain.
Correct.
So, last part of the brain is the medulla oblongata.
Medulla oblongata.
And that same medulla oblongata continues down all the way till the tail region to form the spinal cord.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a tail. Yes.
We are talking about normal people. Okay. So this spinal cord. Spinal cord is also covered with the same protective coverings called the meninges. Oh, you remember that term? Meninges, the protective coverings. Outermost one is the dura mater. Second one.
Yes.
Third one is matter. ऐसे करके तीन meninges होते हैं, right? So, and there is this CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid, similar to that of the brain, over here also. It forms a fluid.
It is inside of that.
Nutritive tissue. Very good. Okay. At the back, from the neck region to the tail region, we have a backbone. The vertebral column. Okay. So there are 33 bones, one below the other. In between the bones, there is a hollow cavity called the neural canal.
Yes.
Spinal cord passes. And towards the neck region, it is slightly broad, and as and when it comes down, it tapers into a triangular structure.
Yes, correct.
Conus medullaris, and the tail portion resembles that of a horse tail. That's why they use the word.
Yes, horse tail. Yes, I remember.
Okay, and you have to remember the thread structure called filum terminale, which ends posteriorly. So in the lumbar region,
I don't remember filum terminale.
It is a thread-like ending part of the spinal cord.
Correct. Yes.
That's filum terminale, right? And
yes, okay.
If you see the section of the spinal cord, the TS, you remember in the brain, we had seen that cerebrum up to the cerebellum was having gray matter outside, white matter inside.
Correct. Yes. No. Yes.
Onwards, it is the reverse. Cerebellum is a point where there is a transition. That was the word we came across.
Yes.
And medulla oblongata onwards, it is white matter outside, gray matter inside. And the same
white outside, gray inside.
The same continues down in the spinal cord also, right?
No. Okay, got it.
Don't put your hand to any part of your face. Sit straight.
Okay, got it.
Posture. Yes. Pay attention. Okay? So this spinal cord is a conical one. So when you take a TS and you open inside the centermost portion of the spinal cord, there is a canal called the central canal.
Central canal.
This has got a fluid called the CSF.
Called CSF. Yes,
and the central canal is covered with a lining which is called the ependyma. There are the cells.
Ependyma. Yes, correct.
Yes, you can see the three meningeus layers also, and this is the matter giving a horn-like appearance. The front portion is the anterior one, the is the posterior part, or you can say ventral and dorsal. Okay, so there is a septum that partitions the left and the right side also. Dorsal root comes out from the dorsal horn, and the ventral root arrives from the ventral horn.
Yes, correct. Okay, got it.
Joins to form a spinal nerve.
Yes, correct.
So there is a dorsal root ganglion, there is a ventral root ganglion. Together they make up that spinal nerve. So here, as you can see, on one side is one spinal nerve, on the other side is the other spinal nerve. So at each portion, there is one pair of spinal nerve that is given out.
Yes.
Along the entire length of the spinal cord, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves.
What? Yes, I got it.
1 pairs of spinal nerves. We will see that in detail in the PNS.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Clear.
Okay. So when you talk about
Yes.
the spinal cord and its functions, okay, it is the main center for most of the reflex actions that you are going to see now.
I know. Yes.
What is the one taking care of reflex action? Because there are certain actions in the body. Okay, any action is nothing but a response to a stimulus.
Hmm.
Whenever there is a stimulus and a response has to be given, if it has to be done very quickly and rapidly, then this decision is taken by the spinal cord itself, doesn't go all the way to the brain.
Okay, got it.
In that process, what happens? Time is saved and the response is given. Because in certain incidences, the body requires that the response should be given very fast because it helps the organism to survive more.
Okay, got it.
This kind of reflex action has been developed. And spinal
Okay.
also, it provides the nervous connection to many parts of the body.
Nervous connection.
Supplies the nerves to various parts of the body. We will see that now.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
you understood spinal nerves, right? So from where do the spinal nerves arise? Along the entire length of the spinal cord. So wherever these nerves arise, they go to some of the other part of the body.
Yes.
So they are supplying the nerves. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Understood about spinal cord only?
Uh,
But first let us understand peripheral nervous system, PNS.
PNS. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Now the word itself is telling you peripheral. Peripheral का मतलब है side, border. So
Yes, correct.
पहले हमने देखा था central nervous system. So that was the central axis of the body. We have seen the brain, we have seen the spinal cord. Okay, this is something in the sides of the body. Okay, so from the central nervous system arises the peripheral nervous system, which supplies blood to different parts of the body.
Okay.
And the peripheral nervous system of PNS is divided into two types. There are cranial nerves and there are spinal nerves.
Okay, got it.
Cranium is the brain box. You remember that?
Yes, correct. I remember. Yes.
Well,
Brain
which
box.
the brain.
Connected to the brain.
So from the
Okay,
brain,
got it.
when there are nerves coming out on both the sides, okay, there are always a pair of nerves. They go in both the sides and they innervate some or the other part of the body. Because every part of the body is supplied with nerves.
Correct.
Because that's the reason you can receive a stimulus in any part of the body. Except some portions of the cells are dead. Like if the nails are cut, you don't feel a pain. But if the finger is cut, you will realize. Getting it? If the haircut is done, you don't feel any pain. Correct? But if the neck is cut, obviously you will feel the pain. Getting it?
Sir.
Okay.
Fine, got it.
Nerve, spinal nerve. So wherever any kind of this stimulus is received and it is perceived, we can say there are nerves present over there.
Okay, got it.
Understand in the entire body how the nerves are supplied to every part of the body. Okay.
Correct. Okay, got it.
So look at the cranial nerve. The small table you have to learn. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Only 12
What
pairs
is that?
of cranial nerves.
The next page.
Listen. There are only 12 pairs of cranial nerves.
Yeah, only. Correct.
Okay. See what you can do in order to remember these 12 pairs. Okay. Something.
Yes. Tell me.
Okay. See. In order to remember the names of these cranial nerves. Okay, I'll give you the initial first.
O P T O. How will I remember this? O P T A F A G V A H.
First, count and tell me whether it is 12 or not.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, 12.
Now,
Yes.
what you have to do is, these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves.
How?
Okay, in the same order you have to remember. So
Okay.
there's letters if you see, you can just remember as a weird word, Utta Pag Swaha.
Sir, what?
Like, Up, Ta,
Oop. Ta.
Ta, Pag. Okay, Utta Pag Swaha.
Swaha.
Ah,
Okay.
so like, O for what?
Got it. O for
Word.
olfactory.
Okay, I will read out the words, you tell whether it is correct or not. Okay? All
Okay. Olfactory, correct.
see the textbook. Olfactory, optic, oculomotor, pathetic, trigeminal, abducens.
Pathetic? Okay.
Trigeminal, abducens, facial,
Yes.
auditory,
Yes.
glossopharyngeal,
Yes.
vagus, spinal accessory, hypoglossal. Are they correct?
Okay, got it.
You have to remember the same. Got it? Olfactory,
Yes.
optic,
Optic.
oculomotor.
Oculomotor.
E for pathetic. See, these are names of nerves we are telling. Okay?
Oh, that is a nerve?
Trigeminal, abducens.
Trigeminal.
Okay? You have
उसको क्या बोलते हैं? A for
abducens.
abducens.
Yes,
Okay. F
facial,
for facial. A for auditory.
auditory,
Okay.
glossopharyngeal. बोल.
Wow.
Glossopharyngeal. बोलो.
Glossopharyngeal.
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 उसके next है vagus. बोल.
I like it. Vegas.
हाँ?
Vegas.
Vagus. Then you have
H for
accessory.
spinal accessory.
Okay.
H for
And then you have hypoglossal.
Glossal. Okay, got it.
Cranial nerves, 12 pairs. Is that clear?
Clear. That 8 minutes. So that ये सब cranial nerves है.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. So these
Yes. Okay, got it.
ये 12 है और 12 pairs है. So in the exam, please remember, if there is a question asked, how many cranial nerves do we have? So either say 12 pairs or 24. But if you say only,
अच्छा, they are a pair. Okay, yes, correct.
if
Yes.
you say only 12, it will be wrong because they are pairs. Got it? Now see,
Okay.
these
Yes.
are names of the nerves that we have seen. Okay.
Yes.
Each one of them
Yes.
is of which type? You remember types of nerves: sensory, motor, and
Sensory accessory. Yes, correct. Motor and
also have to remember which nerve is of which type. जैसे
what?
optic nerve is sensory. Getting it?
Yes.
If you say pathetic nerve, it is motor.
Yes.
You can always correlate. See, optic का function क्या है? It is helping in vision. The name itself tells you.
Yes, correct.
So
Yes.
whatever is there in front of the eyes, the brain is able to
Yes, sensory organ. Yes, correct.
sensory. Okay.
Yes.
का function देख, rotation and movement
But
of the.
what about, sir, wait, but what about glossopharyngeal?
We'll come to that. Relax. So pathetic का
Okay,
rotation and movement of the eyeball. That means
Yes.
if I want to move my eyeballs like you do in the screen. ऐसे ऊपर नीचे देखती है. So there are those.
Okay, yes.
There are those muscles which are connected to the eyeball.
Okay, muscle.
Yes. So those muscles are stimulated by the brain. Okay, Supriya, move your eyeball like this.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Remember,
Yes.
I've given an example. Like if you are in a cricket stadium in the audience and you're watching a match, so the batsman will stop.
Oh, yes. I hit the ball and my eyes will go. Yes, correct.
Balls will trace the ball.
Yes, that was.
It is because of the muscles. So like that, you have to remember the type and you have to understand the origin of each nerve. Origin matlab from where that nerve begins.
Okay.
Okay. And the organs in a that means which organ is supplied nerve. It's
Which
like
organ?
optic
Your voice is breaking. Thoda.
optic nerve. Am I audible now?
You're audible. You're thoda sa breaking.
Okay.
Background.
So optic nerve, for example, supplies nerves to the retina of the eye.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, pathetic nerve supplies nerves to the eye muscles.
Yes.
Okay. If you see abducens, so muscle the eyeball.
Eyeball.
If you say auditory, the name itself it is for the ears.
Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Auditory.
Glossopharyngeal. When you say pharyngeal, it means pharynx. You remember pharynx, human nutrition?
Oh, pharynx, larynx. Yes, I remember.
When you say glosso, it means tongue.
Yes.
So when you say glossopharyngeal, you can see the pharynx and the.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like suppose you are eating food.
Oh, it's easier. Okay, got it.
Suppose you are eating food. You have
Yes, I am.
sweet. Okay. So when you take the food, put it in your mouth, your tongue has got taste buds. So when you put the food in the mouth, immediately you come to know it was sweet. How do you come to know? You place the food on the tongue. The tongue has got those taste buds. Those taste buds are but the taste receptors located on the tongue. And those receptors are the nerve endings of the glossopharyngeal nerve.
What? Okay, got it.
Whatever you eat, that taste in the form of a chemical is passed on to the glossopharyngeal nerve as a stimulus and it goes to the brain. The brain will press and give a message to you that it is the sweet taste that you have get.
What?
Imagine how fast this is.
Okay, got it.
I tell you, keep your eyes closed. Okay,
got it.
Close and I will give you something to eat and you have to tell the taste. And उस वक्त मैंने तुम्हारे मुंह में मिर्ची रख दिया. What will happen?
Yeah.
You have to recollect glossopharyngeal.
Okay. Yes.
Clearly, when you see this nerve, it is gastric. Pneumogastric. When you say gastric, it is stomach.
Gastric, yes. Stomach. Yes.
Right? Pneumonia, lungs. So respiratory system and digestive system.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So ये उनका function.
Yes.
All these functions also you have to learn.
Right.
And whether it is sensory, motor or mixed, you have to learn that.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. So यहाँ पर neck and shoulder muscles, spinal accessory. So if I tell you, yes, nod your head.
Yes.
Which nerve are you spinal accessory.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Whenever I ask you, so
Yes.
please done your homework, you say no. So you are using which nerve? Spinal accessory.
I did.
Got
I
it?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hypoglossal. Again, see the word glosso. Glosso matlab tongue.
Glosso. Tongue.
So hypoglossal matlab hypo means below.
Yes.
So below the tongue. So movement of the tongue is a voluntary action.
Yes.
You can move your tongue whenever you want,
Yes.
right? So that is taken care of by hypoglossal.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, hypoglossal.
Yes. So,
Okay, got it. Yes.
so you
Oh,
are
it's easier.
mastication, chewing the food, mixing the food with the saliva, swallowing it. उसमें का movement होता है.
Yes.
का movement होता है. So that time it is hypoglossal.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, and all these 12 pairs of cranial nerves, remember, given the Roman numbering 1 to 12. You can see the first column.
Yes.
Okay, so that you have to
So
write.
that is important. ऐसा इस Roman number में.
Yes, because they are numbered like that.
Okay.
So you have to remember. See, nerve number 1, 2, and 8 are sensory. You'll see that.
That is better.
Okay.
1, 2, and 8 are sensory.
Similarly, 3, 4, 6, 11, 12 are motor.
Yes.
And 5, 7, 9, 10 are mixed.
Yes, correct.
The lots of probable questions of MCQ from this point. Out of 12 pairs of cranial nerves, nerve number dash is sensory. Nerve number dash is mixed. Or there can be a
ऐसा पूछेगा?
nerve number 7 is dash, sensory motor mixed. It is possible.
Mixed. Yes.
Okay. वो learn करना है.
Yes.
Okay. So that was
Okay,
about
got
the
it.
nerves of the PNS.
Okay,
Now,
got it.
spinal nerves.
Spinal?
Nerves कहाँ से originate होते हैं? Cranium से, brain से.
Cranium, yes, correct.
That's why in the table you have seen that where these nerves originate from. Cranial nerves मतलब brain से originate होके जा रहे हैं. But brain में कहाँ पर? That is given over here. Whether it is the floor of the midbrain, side of the diencephalon, or the olfactory,
yes, correct.
the pons valvi, wherever. So वो location याद रखना where it begins.
Yes, correct.
Got it? Same way now if you talk about the spinal nerves, remember there are 31 pairs. And we don't have to
yes.
the name of each nerve. Don't worry. वो cranial nerves के लिए 12 नाम याद रखने थे, not for the spinal nerves.
Okay,
But
great.
nerves as a group you have to remember their locations.
Okay, no problem.
This one की spinal nerve कैसे बनता है? We have seen the section of the spinal cord, dorsal root, ventral root, and one spinal nerve. Correct? So we have the spinal cord right from the neck region to the tail region.
Yes.
तो उसमें अलग अलग regions कौन से बनते हैं? First thing is the neck.
Yes.
Neck region को बोलते हैं cervical. Below
spelling wrong है.
cervical.
Cervical. Oh, cervical. Yes, correct.
Similarly, below the neck is the thorax. Thorax का chest region.
Yes.
But obviously we are talking about the dorsal side because spinal cord पीछे.
Oh yes.
Chest region में पीछे. Got it? Okay. So thorax उसका nerve spinal nerves के group का नाम है thoracic.
Thoracic. Easy. Yes,
Okay.
got it.
Then below the chest region we go to the abdominal region.
Abdominal region. Yes.
Abdominal में पीछे के side में lumbar.
Lumbar.
Like that. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Lower abdomen या hip region.
हाँ.
That is called as the pelvis. Okay.
Pelvis is
The lower abdomen or the hip region.
lower abdominal or the okay. ठीक है. Got it.
Stomach वाला portion. That is where the nerves are called sacral.
Sacral. Okay, got it.
Okay, and below that, almost in the tail region, which is very rudimentary for
I
us,
know.
वो है coccyx. Pronounce that.
Coccyx.
Coccyx, and that's why the nerve,
पता है notice coccyx.
the nerves over here are called coccygeal.
Coccygeal. Okay, got it.
If you see
We
the,
have coccyx.
if you see the spinal nerves, they are divided into 5 groups.
हाँ.
Cervical, there
Oh.
are 8 pairs.
Oh yes. Correct. Yes.
Cervical, there are 8 pairs. Thoracic, there are 12 pairs. Lumbar, 5 pairs. Sacral, 5 pairs. Coccygeal, 1 pair. So
Together it is 31 pairs.
8 plus 12 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 gives you 31 pairs.
Yes, correct.
Do you understand?
Yes, understood.
Locations के साथ बराबर से याद रखना.
Okay, got it.
अच्छी तरह से.
Yes.
Okay. See some
अच्छी तरह.
interesting points. Okay. Okay.
Do
This
you
is
know?
spinal nerve once again. So now यहाँ पे देखना spinal nerve कैसे बनता है. See this diagram. It's very clear now.
Spinal nerve कैसे बनता है?
Now you are seeing the section of a spinal cord. You know very well dorsal root, ventral root. Okay. Now this dorsal root at the back side will form a ganglion. Aggregation of the sides.
Ganglion. Yes.
Dorsal root, ganglion. Okay. And ventral root will also join over here. So dorsal root,
Yes.
ventral root will join on the lateral side and they will form a common spinal nerve.
Yes.
That common spinal nerve will then branch out into 3 parts.
Yes.
एक part होगा पीछे के साइड जाएगा, that is called ramus dorsalis.
Ramus dorsalis. Okay.
Dorsalis. तो ये कहाँ पे जाते हैं? From the skin and to the muscles of the dorsal side.
Okay. Ramu. Yes, take it.
Anywhere at the back. Suppose you get a pain on the skin. तो
Okay.
stimulus ramus dorsalis से spinal nerve में आता है.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Similarly, ramus ventralis, the largest one.
आगे side. Yes.
The largest of the 3 and supplies organs and muscles on the lateral and anterior
Oh.
side.
Okay. Okay. It is the largest.
The front side is called ramus communicans, which is the small. They join the sympathetic ganglion. We will come to the sympathetic nervous system after some time. Because
Okay,
that's
fine.
the autonomic nervous system.
Okay.
Is it clear? So ऐसे करके जो structure बन रहा है, that is one spinal nerve.
Okay, got it.
Now on this side, same thing is formed on the other side. That's why it is one pair.
Yeah.
All along the length of the spinal cord, there are 31 pairs.
Oh my god. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Now, did you understand how it is spread out?
Yeah.
Early.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's talk. We have understood spinal nerve. Okay. Before we come to that, see some interesting facts that are given here about the cranial nerve. Okay. We have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay. Out of that, only the 10th one, that's called as the vagus nerve.
Huh?
Only this nerve passes into the body and it supplies nerves to the internal organs. Rest all pairs, they supply nerves to the peripheral organs.
Yes, correct.
Specific,
What vagus does what?
only the internal visceral organs.
Okay, got it.
And the vagus is the one which has got maximum number of branches and also the longest distribution.
Okay, got it.
If you recollect, we discussed about circulation and human heart.
Yes.
You remember SA node, AV node,
Yes.
hairs, Purkinje fibers. Every heartbeat or cardiac cycle is controlled by these nerves.
Oh.
So in the brain,
Oh.
there is this vagus nerve One of the branches of the vagus nerve supplies to the heart and it innervates the SA node. And this one branch of the vagus nerve takes care of the cardiac cycle and the heartbeat.
Okay, got it.
Understood the correlation?
Ah, okay, got it. Yes.
Okay. Then
Yes.
this fifth one called as the trigeminal nerve.
Yes, trigeminal.
It's the dentist nerve.
ठीक है बोला. Yes,
Fifth one,
dentist.
number 5 है.
अच्छा, oh.
Okay, Roman number.
Yes.
Trigeminal nerve is also called as the dentist nerve.
Yes.
Supplies the teeth and the gums. Sometimes the dentists have to pull out the teeth. So
So
पूरा
why are you saying?
okay, पूरा roots के साथ निकालना पड़ते हैं. तो ये trigeminal nerve को ही anesthesia देना पड़ता है. The doctor
Okay. Ah, yes.
anesthesia ना numb कर देता है एकदम. Right? Or if you sometimes even if you apply that clove oil, तो एक ऐसा numbness sensation आता है.
Yes, आता है. हाँ.
Recollect, it is the trigeminal nerve, the fifth cranial nerve, which is the largest.
Oh, it is over here.
Yes, it supplies over here.
Oh. Yes.
Similarly, the sixth one called abducens, it is the smallest cranial nerve. All these facts to remember very popularly can be asked in exams.
Okay.
So which one is largest, which one is smallest, and whatever unique points.
Okay, got it.
Okay. अच्छी तरह समझा
हाँ.
properly. Okay.
Yes.
Just about the PNS, peripheral nervous system. Let's talk associated with that PNS and associated with the spinal cord. We have to understand what is reflex action.
Reflex action. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Now suppose, imagine a situation. As the same example which you have spoken in the beginning also. Okay, by chance, if you touch your hand to the hot iron,
Yes, you will suddenly.
what will you do? As a normal human being,
Remove my hand.
you will remove your hand immediately.
Yes.
You will pull back. Like ऐसा हो जाएगा कि you won't realize that मैंने pull कर दिया. That is called reflex action. Can you
Yes,
give
I know.
example of a reflex action like this, which you experience in daily life? Yes.
When I'm about to slap my sister.
See, that's a
सीधा.
pre-planned process you are talking about.
अच्छा, okay, you want something ऐसा sudden.
Like you, ऐसा लगेगा मैंने सोच के नहीं किया बस हो गया. Imagine in a situation like you're in your room, very deep sleep में.
हाँ.
Night is sleeping. Your room lights are off and dark एकदम. Okay.
Okay.
Suddenly you wake up for some reason, maybe to have water or something, and that time you put on the light.
Okay.
See your eyes.
Oh yes. Yes. Suddenly I'll feel.
तो कैसा लगता है?
हाँ.
Right, the eyes.
I'll close my eyes.
Or spontaneously close your eyes. ऐसा एकदम कर देते.
Yes. Yes.
Reflex action.
Yes.
Let's see that. तो reflex action जब हम बोलते हैं, okay, तो उसका meaning क्या है? It is said to be involuntary because you don't think and do. Okay.
Yes.
And along which the action is carried out is called as the reflex arc.
What is a reflex arc?
We'll come to that. See, सबसे पहले, when you say reflex action,
Action.
it is of two types.
What? Two types? How?
Of reflex action, yes. Okay, can you tell which are the two types?
Two types of reflex action.
Okay, first one is.
Wait, I'm trying. Oh. Huh? No, wait, I'm coming. Abhi? Okay, fine. Okay. Abhi? Sir, puja is going on. Can I like go for
Okay. So I was talking about this reflex action. We will see there are two types of reflex action.
Yes.
You understood the general meaning of reflex action, right?
Yes.
Sudden, quick, involuntary response to an emergency
Yes.
situation. That's called as a reflex action. Okay?
Yes.
Two
Correct.
types are there. The first type is called unconditioned reflex.
Unconditioned
Yes.
reflex.
Unconditioned,
Okay.
also called as inborn reflexes. That means,
Inborn?
yes, that means there are certain reflex actions which nobody has to teach you anything. Okay, by birth, you
Yes.
know. Imagine the example. Does anybody teach you?
Oh, no. Oh, got it.
Nobody
Yes.
has to teach you how to sneeze. If at all there is any kind of an irritation in the nose or something, you automatically sneeze as a
Yes.
reflex. So that's an inborn, unconditioned. You have not
Yes.
learned it anytime. It is by birth. Give another example.
Inborn. Okay, got it.
Like
Got it.
sneezing. Another example, can you give?
For example,
As a
if no, pass. Nothing is going on in my head.
are there.
Coughing? Yes. Oh, yes.
When you get that irritation in the throat, you automatically
Yes.
coughing.
Cough.
Right?
Okay. Yes. Correct. Yes. Swallowing.
In the
What
food,
is that?
automatically you swallow it. Yeah, chalo swallowing hata bhi do. ठीक है. Sometimes it's voluntary also, let it be. Okay.
Okay.
You say
Okay.
blinking of the eyes.
Oh, I was going to say that. Blinking.
Right?
Yes.
That is an example. Or you can say even crying.
Crying is involuntary. Laughing is involuntary.
It is inborn. Nobody teaches you na, how to cry. It's
Oh,
like
yes.
if somebody makes a joke or something and you realize, you understand the joke, you will laugh
Yes.
automatically. Once you
Yes.
once you understand the joke.
Yes.
Read for this in the childhood कि बेटा ऐसा जोक सुना दिया तो पहले हंसने का कैसे हंसने का ही करके हंसने का is it so of course not
Yes.
so that
Yes.
is
Yes.
automatically aware about this like that you can
Okay, got it.
examples which are inborn unconditioned.
Okay.
Second such type is called conditioned reflex,
Conditioned.
also called as learned reflex. Okay, I would
What is
want
that?
learned reflex. Okay, learned matlab you don't know it by birth, but you have learned it.
Oh, yes. What is that? Give
Example,
me an example. Writing. Oh, yes.
you don't know by birth, but imagine your school level, nursery class, KG
But
class,
wait, how is that a reflex action?
nursery class, KG class, में you learn how to write. Imagine learning to write English letters. तो पहले
हाँ.
सीखते हैं एक just recollect
Yes.
you were that small. How did you used to struggle writing every letter?
Oh, yes.
गोल बना के देन ऐसा करते थे तो प्रैक्टिस करता था एक एक लेटर पूरा
Yes.
प्रैक्टिस करते थे तब जाके हाथ बैठता था कि हाँ ये लेटर ऐसे लिखना है.
Yes, correct.
You started learning how to write words and from
Yes.
words you learned how to write sentences. But in the situation now, you don't have to recollect how to write.
Oh,
Suppose
yes.
if I tell you, Supriya, open the book and start writing, I will dictate.
I can write.
As a reflex, whatever I dictate, you will just keep on writing with the flow. You won't
Yes.
consciously think about each letter. It comes as a reflex.
But wait, oh, that is a reflex.
As a reflex, you will start writing. Getting it? Similarly, reading.
Hello, hello. What happened? Oh, yes. Eating.
Initially, when you were learning how to read, you take a lot of time. You try to observe each and every letter and then you read. But once
Yes.
you learn and you have
Right.
command over that language, you read like a jet speed. As
Oh
a
yes, I can.
got it. Similarly,
Yes.
cycling.
Oh yes, cycling.
Imagine
Learning, eating,
learning
INGs.
when you were learning it for the first time, you were wobbling on the cycle. Balance, jagger, balance.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes.
You fall. But that's how you learn. But once you learn it, you don't have to worry when you are cycling.
Hmm.
You cycle with full confidence, and if there is any big vehicle or somebody coming in front, automatically as a reflex you press the brakes.
Yes.
Isn't it? So all the
Yes.
similarly you can say singing,
Uh-huh.
dancing as a reflection of sometimes it happens. All these are examples of conditioned, learned reflexes. Did you understand
Okay,
that
got it.
properly? Yes?
Proper.
Yeah. So how reflex action internally, how it works. So there is
How?
something called as a reflex arc.
Now what is a reflex arc?
Yes, I'll come to that. So I will share one more screen and I will tell you. Okay. See, when you talk about the reflex arc,
Ah.
okay,
Swaha.
reflex arc.
Yes.
It's like how it begins, Okay, first there will be a stimulus.
Okay.
Again, for any reflex action, there has to be a stimulus. Correct?
Yes.
So it's like imagine that situation where you by chance touch a hot iron.
Okay, fine. I will.
The temperature of that iron is the stimulus.
Okay.
That stimulus is received where in the receptor.
Receptor. Yes.
Correct. Wherever that skin came in contact with the iron, there are receptors present. That receptor
Yes.
perceived the stimulus. This receptor
Yes.
passed on that stimulus or transmitted that stimulus to where the receptor continues to form the
In organ, no. This. No. Sorry. Sensory. Yes.
sensory
Neuron.
where the receptor was received the stimulus and across
Yes.
the sensory neuron, this stimulus was passed on to the
CNS. Central nervous.
of the CNS.
Hmm.
Did it go? We are talking about reflex action. So did it go all the way to the brain?
Yes, of course.
We are talking about reflex action.
Yes, we are talking about. Reflex. Yes. No.
Please
Spinal cord.
your own reflexes. Okay. So the sensory neuron passes on the stimulus to the CNS, that is the spinal cord.
Yes. Okay.
Spinal cord, there is a gray matter. You remember that? In that gray
Yes.
matter, there is this association neuron.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Association neuron is the one which will process the stimulus that is received. And according
Okay. Right.
the response will be generated.
Yes.
Association neuron itself will decide and generate a response. That means the time is saved. It is not going all the way to the brain.
Okay. Yes. Correct.
In this association neuron, whatever response is generated, that is passing on to the
Motor neuron. Yes. You are right.
motor.
Yes.
And what is passed
Yes.
to the motor neuron? It is the response.
Response.
Got it? And
Yes.
it will be passed on to the effector. And the
Effector.
is either a muscle
Oh, effector. Yes, I remember. Or a gland. Yes, you're right.
or gland. If it is a muscle, it will cause a movement. If it is a gland,
Yes.
it will do secretion. So the response that is given out is in one of these two types. Either it will be
Correct.
of any part of a body or it will be a secretion from any part of the body.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
That's an effector. And the effector will generate will give away the response.
Response. Yes. Correct. Oh no. Okay. Got it.
One more thing. Sensory neuron.
Hmm.
Sensory neuron will connect via dorsal root.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Dorsal. Yes, that is important.
Will pass it through the ventral root.
Ventral root. Yes.
That also you have to know.
Right.
Is that
Yes. Clear.
here you have seen a path. Where stimulus received, which neuron it is received, where does the neuron carry the stimulus, where is the stimulus process, how is the response generated, where is the response being passed, whether it is the muscle or a gland, and the response is in the form of either it will be a movement or any if it is a muscle,
correct.
movement, if it is a gland, it is secretion. Is that clear?
Correct. Got it. Clear. अच्छी तरह समझा.
Why this pathway is called as a reflex?
What? Okay, got it.
Okay, right from the time when the stimulus is received to the point where response is given. Unsa pathway.
Okay.
And now imagine that situation when you touch the hot iron, how fast you have reacted.
Yes.
इसमें से पास होके response भी आ गया.
Oh no.
Impulses कितने fast हो सकते हैं? Imagine that synapse and all that we discussed. वो सब हुआ है ना neurons के बीच में.
Yes.
Got it?
2 seconds पे नहीं लगेगा.
Understood reflex arc?
Yes.
Okay. Now.
Yes.
There are something called peripheral जो nervous system के बारे में हमने बात किया. Peripheral nerves.
हाँ.
There are two types. One is afferent nerves and the other one is efferent nerves. A और E का फर्क है.
Oh, ये मैंने पढ़ा था. Efferent.
Nerves क्या करते हैं? They transmit only sensory impulse.
Okay. Sensory impulse.
Organ to the CNS.
Yes.
You can call afferent as sensory simply. And efferent, they transmit regulatory or motor impulses. So it is from the CNS to any organ or tissue.
What is regulatory impulses?
Response.
अच्छा, okay. Yes.
Got it? ये देखना यहाँ पे. See, cranial reflex अलग है, spinal reflex अलग है. Yeah, that is another criteria. Reflex action. Spinal reflex. See, reflex action के दो type हमने बोले, unconditioned and conditioned.
Condition, yes.
Examples also.
Yes.
Okay. अभी जो conditioned reflex हमने बोला, उसका एक experiment है. Okay, there was this Pavlov's experiment which was very popular.
Oh no.
Pavlov. Pronounce
okay.
Pavlov. Okay. What he did,
yes.
बहुत interesting experiment किया dog के ऊपर. Okay.
Oh.
He took a pet dog. He kept the pet dog with him for about 35 days. And like when he brought the dog newly with him for the first time, what he did, at a fixed time during the day, he used to give the dog its food.
Okay.
For example, afternoon 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. something. The dog ko. Okay. Initially, the dog used to come upon looking at the food. And खाना देखने के बाद किसी का भी mouth watering होता है, dogs में भी होता है. So you know that puts its tongue out करके ऐसे dog करते हैं.
Yes.
It will do salivation, मतलब उसके tongue में से saliva टपकता होगा.
Yes.
So what he allowed do afternoon when he used to give the meals to the dog used to come and have the meal. But at that time itself, exactly at that point of time, after keeping the bowl of the food for him, the Pavlov used to ring a bell. एक खाना रखा, टिंग टिंग घंटी बजाया, कुत्ता आया. तो इनिशियली दैट डॉग इग्नोर्ड द बेल. तो उसको बेल से क्या करना है? खाना खाने का. So for many days the dog came, ate the food. It also heard the bell, but it did not pay heed to it. कि dog को बेल से मतलब ही नहीं था. But then
Oh,
after 30-35 days, this he repeated every day. Okay. After about
okay.
35 days, what did Pavlov do? He
He did not ring the bell.
rang the bell, but he did not keep.
What? He did not keep the food.
सिर्फ बेल बजाया.
Arre.
What was the reaction
And
of
then
the
he
dog?
didn't care. He
नहीं
didn't.
नहीं.
He
Dog
came.
35 दिन में आदत से पड़ गया. घंटी बजाया मतलब खाना मिल रहा है.
हाँ.
So the dog assumed that ring सुनाई दिया, इसका मतलब खाना मिल रहा है. So it came all the way and started salivating.
No, I don't like follow. Okay, fine.
That was
Yes.
एक कंडीशन रिफ्लेक्स हो गया ना कि डॉग के अंदर वो एजम्पशन हो गया कि बेल बजाया मतलब खाना मिलेगा. तो एक ऐसा टाइम बेल बजाया खाना नहीं था, बट स्टिल द डॉग रिमेंबर्ड दैट एंड एज अ रिफ्लेक्स इट स्टार्टेड सलाइवेटिंग.
Okay.
कंडीशन रिफ्लेक्स हिट.
Nice.
इमेजिन डॉग का ही एक और एग्जांपल बता सकता हूँ. एनी टाइम सपोज बाहर रोड साइड जो डॉग्स है, सपोज डॉग्स बॉदर यू, लाइक आते जाते लोगों को भौंकते हैं, तकलीफ देते हैं. तो समटाइम्स पीपल व्हाट दे डू, दे ट्राई टू स्केयर अवे द डॉग्स.
Yes.
तो जमीन से पत्थर उठाया, फेंका, एंड दे शू अवे द डॉग. तो डॉग्स हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस एज अ रिफ्लेक्स कि इफ अ पर्सन इज बेंडिंग डाउन टू पिक अप अ स्टोन, वो देखकर ही वो भाग जाएगा.
Oh, yes. Yes.
To do it. In front of the dog, try to bend and try to pick up something. वो डर जाएगा. Getting it? That is reflex. So ये condition reflex हो गया. ठीक है? Okay. For that, there is one more way of classifying reflex action. It is cranial reflex and spinal reflex.
Oh my, what is that?
There are certain reflex actions which are carried over by the brain. Not all the reflex actions are taken care of by spinal cord. So कुछ actions है जो brain ख्याल रखता है.
Okay.
Cranial reflex बोलते हैं. And whatever is taken care of by spinal cord, that is spinal reflex.
Okay, fine. Got it.
Say the cranial reflex का example. Okay, if you are having your most favorite food in front of you, and at the same time you are hungry. Okay, something is being prepared in the kitchen, you get that delicious aroma all over the house and you are hungry. So what happens? Automatically you will do mouth watering. Mouth all side, right?
I got it.
That happens because of cranial reflex.
Yes.
Action पे control है, ये brain का है, spinal cord का नहीं.
Yes.
Next time when that happens, what you are going to revise?
No, I will not.
We are talking about normal human beings anyways. Okay, understood this? Okay, next. Another criteria of classification of reflex action. Okay, depending upon the number of synapses that are involved. You recollect synapses. Between
synapses. Yes.
simple synaptic reflex action.
हाँ.
इसका मतलब इसमें क्या रहेगा? Only sensory and motor neurons. Okay. दूसरा है complex polysynaptic reflexes, in which there are sensory, internervous and motor neurons.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Association neuron हमने देखा.
Okay.
Involved है तो we call it complex polysynaptic.
Okay.
So understood the three types of reflexes.
Yes.
पहला type होगा cranial and spinal. Second type is conditioned and conditioned. And the third one, simple monosynaptic and complex monosynaptic.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Got it. Yes. Clear. What is this?
All about peripheral nervous system.
Okay, got it.
Any doubt?
No doubt.
Now,
No doubt.
far as the classification of the entire nervous system is concerned, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system are not much different. बाद में इसको rework किया गया. Yes, बाद में इसको rework किया गया. See, now you have seen that the PNS originates from the ANS, the CNS itself. Brain में nerves है, spinal cord में से spinal nerves है. And spinal nerves are your PNS.
Oh yes, correct. Yes.
Okay, तो अभी PNS को भी अगर हम डिवाइड करते हैं दूसरे टाइप्स में, तो you have somatic nervous system and you have autonomic nervous system.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so somatic nervous system, somatic मतलब body nerves.
Yes.
Okay, so somatic nervous system क्या करते हैं? It relays the impulses from CNS to the skeletal muscles of the body.
Skeletal muscles.
पूरे शरीर में skeletal muscles हैं.
Yes, correct.
वहां तक CNS nerve supply करेगा. That is called somatic nervous system.
Oh हाँ मैंने पढ़ा है. Yes.
ठीक है? The other type is autonomic nervous
system. ANS. Yes.
क्या करेगा? सोमैटिक क्या करते हैं? स्केलेटल या वॉल्यूंटरी मसल्स को इनर्वेट करते हैं.
हाँ.
ANS will do the innervation for involuntary organs or smooth muscles of the body.
हाँ. Oh, okay.
Control.
Yes, correct. Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So autonomic nervous system is a branch of the peripheral nervous system, and peripheral system is originated from the central nervous system. ऐसे याद रखना.
So can you repeat?
Autonomic nervous system is a branch of the peripheral nervous system.
Correct.
And peripheral nervous system is a part
of CNS.
of the central nervous system.
Yes, got it. Got it.
अभी autonomic nervous system के दो टाइप है.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
Parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system.
Okay, got it.
So उसमें क्या है बताएं? Imagine a situation. Due to some reason, you are suddenly very scared.
Okay, I'm scared.
Okay, any reason.
Okay.
आपके साथ होता है लाइफ. ये कभी अचानक से तो at that point, just imagine what happens inside you. Tell me what happens to your heartbeat when you
it becomes fast.
It becomes heart rate fast होते हैं, and that is voluntary. The heart starts beating very fast.
Oh yes.
Involuntary बढ़ने लगता है, but remain a very fast rate throughout the life after that.
No. No.
Time, if the situation becomes perfectly fine, the heartbeat also becomes normal. And that is again voluntary. You don't have any control over it.
No.
Normal state, from a normal state to an excited state, is taken care of by sympathetic nervous system.
Oh, okay.
And
sympathetic.
from excited state back to the normal state is done by the parasympathetic nervous system. Sometimes it is also necessary in life so that the survival efficiency of the organism is good.
Okay, yes, correct.
Sympathetic and parasympathetic, they are said to be antagonistic to each other.
What to each other?
तो दूसरा कंट्रोल में लाए.
Okay. Oh, okay. ठीक है.
See this. Sympathetic क्या कर रहा है? Accelerates the heartbeat.
हाँ.
Sympathetic क्या कर रहा है? Slows the heartbeat.
Oh, okay. They both go hand in hand. Okay, yes.
बस अभी कुछ टाइम पहले वो जो एग्जांपल हमने बोला कि your favorite food in front of you, automatically mouth watering होता है. But पूरे लाइफ में रहता है क्या?
No.
It will stop. So inhibits the flow of the saliva, stimulates the flow of the saliva.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Correct.
Similarly, your blood vessels, the blood pressure, peristalsis, okay, release of the bile, contraction of
Yes.
the bladder, all these
Uh,
cells.
ah.
See, stimulate, inhibit, stimulate, inhibit.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
And all these are involuntary. Remember that. Totally involuntary. That
Yes.
autonomic nervous
Right.
system consists of these two, sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Parasympathetic.
Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
okay? Now, uh, there are something called preganglionic nerve fibers.
Ganglionic, I know.
अभी
What
सिंपल
is?
के बारे में बोल रहे हैं. Okay, it is also called as a thoracolumbar outflow. Thoracic मतलब chest region we said. Lumbar
Yes.
abdominal region.
Yes.
Sympathetic nervous system में there are 22 pairs of sympathetic ganglia.
Okay.
And they lie on both the sides of the spinal cord
Okay.
and lumbar region.
11 इधर 11 उधर.
ठीक है? 22 pairs, either 22 उधर 22.
Okay. Oh, pairs. Yes.
तो उसके दो टाइप है सिंपैथेटिक के, प्री गैंग्लियोनिक नर्व फाइबर एंड पोस्ट गैंग्लियोनिक नर्व फाइबर. लाइक दिस कि अगर ये नर्व फाइबर है सपोज,
Okay.
देयर विल बी वन गैंग्लियन ऑन वन साइड. तो गैंग्लियन के पहले वाला जो पोर्शन है दैट इज कॉल्ड प्री गैंग्लियोनिक नर्व फाइबर.
और इसके आगे वाला जो पोर्शन है उसको बोलते हैं पोस्ट. ओके. यस. गॉट इट.
इज इट क्लियर?
यस. क्लियर.
ऐसे याद रखना है. सो
ओके. गॉट इट.
two hormones which are produced. We are going to study about hormones in the other part of the lesson, but you remember adrenaline and noradrenaline.
Okay.
These two hormones, okay, they are produced over here at the terminal ends of this postganglionic nerve fibers. Okay.
What? These two together?
हाँ, ये दो hormones produce होते हैं at the ends of the postganglionic nerve fibers.
Okay, they produce.
तो adrenergic fibers करके भी बोलते हैं.
Adrenergic
fibers.
Yes.
तो ये adrenaline and noradrenaline secrete करते हैं, which is also known as FFF hormone.
What is that?
Fight, flight, fright. Fight मतलब गुस्सा. Imagine मूवीज में दिखाते हैं ना, ऐसे हाथ ऐसे करते कड़कड़ आवाज आते हैं.
Yes.
You see staring, muscles are stiff. कि आएगा सामने तो बजा देगा. Situation is because of adrenaline.
Yes. Oh, okay, got it.
Flight response means if you have taken a flight journey.
Okay.
Plane take off करते हैं. तो कैसे बुद्धि सा होता है?
Oh, बहुत होता है. Yes. I know.
Of adrenaline.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
All this excitatory and stimulatory effect is brought about by that. So,
Fight, flight, and
fright.
Right.
Suddenly डर गई. Suppose. Suddenly, imagine you are watching a horror movie.
I love horror movies.
Okay, I'm talking about normal people. So if you are watching,
some people love horror movies.
If you are watching a horror movie, sometimes ऐसे आते हैं ना कि like suspense एकदम से create होता है and suddenly something is there. So you are
Do you like horror movies?
No, I don't like. So imagine. Come on, let's talk. Okay, that discussion we can have other time. So imagine at such a situation when you are suddenly very scared. एकदम feeling आता है ना हाथ पैर ठंडे पड़ गए.
Oh yes.
That is because of the adrenaline.
Okay.
Got it?
Oh. Okay, got it.
You can see that is about the sympathetic nervous system. Clear about this?
Yes, clear.
Then we'll talk about parasympathetic, which is also called neosacral outflow. Remember that. Sympathetic को बोले थे thoracolumbar outflow. This one is the craniosacral outflow.
Craniosacral. अरे ये सब तो इसका नाम है. This 12.
Nerves and spinal nerves है.
Yeah.
तो उन्हीं nerves का जो aggregation है, which are going for the involuntary actions, they are called as craniosacral outflow.
Okay. Got it.
If you remember, we had spoken about a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes.
So at the ends of the post-ganglionic nerves over here, this acetylcholine is produced.
Okay. Yes. Got it.
प्रोड्यूस हुआ था एड्रेनलिन एंड नॉरएड्रेनलिन. यहाँ पे हुआ एसिटाइलकोलिन व्हिच इज अ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर. इसलिए वहां पर एडरेनर्जिक फाइबर्स बोले थे. हियर दे आर कॉलिंग इट एज कोलिनर्जिक फाइबर्स.
Oh, हाँ, right. ये different. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes, getting it.
Understood this properly?
Okay, understood.
ये सिंपैथेटिक इफेक्ट क्या है, पैरासिम्पैथेटिक इफेक्ट क्या है.
Okay.
जैसे हार्ट बीट को एक इंक्रीज तो एक डिक्रीज, बट दोनों जरूरी है. बिकॉज इफ इट ओनली इंक्रीजेस इट विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम. इफ इट ओनली decreases it will be a problem.
It will be a problem. Yes. It has to be balanced.
Blood vessels constrict, dilate.
Yes, correct.
Arterial blood pressure increase, decrease. You feel up. ऐसे एकदम गुस्से में देखो, आँख छोटा करके. तो constrict and dilate.
Oh, pupil of the eye.
We'll see.
ऐसे भी होता है?
पूरा डिटेल में पढ़ना है. We will come to that. ठीक है? Then stomach and intestine में peristalsis को reduce करेगा, peristalsis को बढ़ाएगा, depending upon the presence or absence of the food.
Yes.
And same way for the urinary bladder. Whenever time comes, when the urine has to be passed out, the bladder has to contract.
Contract.
The urine is passed out.
Oh.
It doesn't
Okay.
it always. It has to come back.
Urinary bladder में भी होता है?
Obviously, that is where the urine is temporarily stored.
Yes, I know.
When the bladder becomes full, the right time to pass out the urine.
Yes, correct.
So when the urine is passed out, that time the bladder is contracted.
Okay, got it.
तभी तो bladder squeeze होगा and urine बाहर आएगा.
Oh yes, got it.
Okay, that is contraction of the bladder.
Okay, got it.
After that,
Yes.
the bladder again should relax so that it can take in more urine from the kidney.
Okay, yes. Relax, contract.
Only relax or it cannot only contract.
Yes.
Okay? Then
Yes.
comes the last topic for today, that is sensory receptors.
But did you say last?
Sorry,
Did you say last?
last topic
Chapter खत्म हो गया क्या?
for today. Sensory receptors कर लेंगे.
तो सारा बचा है. Sir, this chapter is so big.
Exactly. Visualization. See, look here. Yeah, here all the lessons are very big actually.
Yes, I know.
That's the reason I'm worried. Anyway, chalo. Come back to this. Sensory receptors. ये कर लेते हैं and then human eye and human ear एक साथ करेंगे.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have already seen receptors क्या होता है करके, right?
Yes.
Receptor means those nerve endings or specialized structures which can receive the stimulus from the environment.
Yes.
In the environment, there can be all possible types of stimulus, and almost all the stimulus around you is going to influence you.
Yes.
And that influence is necessary because that's the way you are responsive to whatever is happening in the environment.
Correct.
ठंडी लग रहा है, गर्मी लग रहा है, पेन हो रहा है, right? All this.
Yes.
You realize your perception of that stimulus is very important.
Correct.
Only
Yes.
you will be able to respond to that stimulus. Correct? So these pulses are generated in the sensory neuron receptor. And we have already seen that action potential, impulse. It goes
Oh
all
yes. Okay. समझा मेरे को.
sensory neuron, it will go to the respective area in the CNS.
CNS. Okay.
And
Yes.
that is where the response. Sorry.
The you.
Unconditioned reflex.
Yeah. Oh yes.
In the CNS, this
Huh?
will be perceived. According to that, a response will be generated.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Passed on to the effectors.
Okay.
Receptors का क्या role है? We have to see the different types of receptors in our body.
What is that?
पहले broadly there are two types. One is exteroreceptors and the other one is interoreceptors.
Okay.
Exteroreceptors means which will receive the stimulus from outside the body.
Outside the body.
उसको exteroreceptors बोलते हैं. And
Okay.
interoreceptor मतलब stimulus received from within the body.
Correct.
पेन वगैरह हो रहा होगा तो वो interoreceptors को पता चले.
Yes, correct.
Got it? Okay.
Yes.
So let's see the types of exteroreceptors. First one is phonoreceptors. Whenever
Oh
you
no.
know, it is automatically associated with sound. ये receptors, what you have to learn over here is what is the name of the receptor, where are these receptors located, and what is their function.
Function. Okay, yes, correct.
Receptors are located in the internal ear. In this lesson, we are also going to see the detailed structure of the human ear.
Oh, human ear. I love human ear.
So, the term organ of Corti, which is a part of the internal ear.
So what is Corti?
I'll come to that. अभी ईयर का स्ट्रक्चर आज नहीं कर रहे हैं ना. We'll come to that. पूरा डिटेल में देखेंगे. And the internal ear is the one where these phonoreceptors are located, and their function is sound reception.
Correct. Yes, of course.
Hearing is because of the phonoreceptors in the organ of Corti in your internal ear.
What is Corti?
ठीक है?
Yes.
Second one is statoreceptors.
Photoreceptors. What is that?
Present in your internal ear, but another part of the internal ear. Internal ear is very complicated structure. We'll see that. पहला वाला organ of में था. This one is in the semicircular canals. First one was for sound perception. This one maintaining your balance and equilibrium. Your body balance and equilibrium.
This.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
Photoreceptors. Photo मतलब don't say selfie.
I related.
Light.
Yes. Retina. Yes.
ठीक है. You are able to visualize things. So sensor
Vision.
or vision. Got it?
Sensory. Yes,
Next,
got it.
thermoreceptor. Thermo मतलब heat.
Thermodynamics. Oh, sorry.
Thermometer, heat, temperature.
Yes.
Whatever is your surrounding temperature, you are able to detect.
That is skin.
Degree Celsius value or something, but इतना पता चल जाता है कि गर्म है कि ठंडा है. So that is there all over your skin.
Sensory, yes.
It's a sensory stimulus for heat. अगर वो heat के लिए detect कर रहे हैं, तो we call it caloriceptors.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So we call it frigidoreceptors.
Calorie.
Go to a very high altitude mountain, cold region. So of course you won't get anything. You will feel, you will shiver. So
that is because of this?
Frigidoreceptors.
Okay.
Deserts of Rajasthan, standing in the hot sun, you will be recollecting caloriceptors.
Caloriceptors. Okay, got it.
अपने को नहीं पता चलता है. ठीक है. Next है mechanoreceptors. Mechano मतलब stimulus of mechanical stimulus. जैसे if somebody is touching you, you feel that touch. Okay. डॉक्टर ने इंजेक्शन दिया, पेन. ठीक है. प्रेशर, दैट मीन्स अगर ऐसे स्किन को प्रेस किया, inside a crowded train, you are feeling that pressure.
Yes, correct. You're right.
Deep pressure अगर बोलते हैं, All these things are sensitive in our skin because of mechanoreceptors.
Yes, correct.
You have chemoreceptors. Chemo मतलब chemicals.
Chemo. Yes.
तो उसमें दो टाइप आते हैं. Gustatoreceptors is for the taste. So whatever taste which you get in your tongue is because there are certain chemicals which dissolve on the saliva present in the of the tongue.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right.
So, to detect the smell, taste. At the same time, even olfactory receptors are included. Olfaction matlab so whatever is there in the air around you, it enters in the nose, and inside the nose there is a mucus.
Yes.
The membrane पे mucus पे वो chemical dissolve हो जाते हैं, and your nose is able to detect that smell.
Oh, इसलिए. Oh, this is how.
If you're walking outside a restaurant and that person has nicely preparing pav bhaji on the tawa,
Why would you do that?
तगड़ा एकदम ऐसा वो पाव भाजी का सब्जी डालते कैसे ज़्ज़ करके साउंड आता है, and that nice fumes enter your nose.
I got it.
बड़ा सा स्लैब लेकर तवे पर रब करते हैं.
Okay, I got it.
The golden colored pav dripping with butter. So you get the aroma of everything that is in your olfactory receptor. See here, we are sensitive to about 10,000 different smells. Imagine.
Oh.
10,000 different smells. They might be minor
10,000 different smells.
Taste. You can see the differences. कौन से taste हैं? Salty, sour,
bitter,
umami, astringent या pungent one.
Okay, yes.
That is very strong ones. Is that understood? The receptors and their types.
Yes, अच्छे से.
इसके ऊपर भी questions आ सकते हैं कि the receptors involved in taste are called dash receptors. Answer होगा gustatory receptors.
Okay, got it. Okay.
That I have to learn. Next, coming to interoreceptors. Entero मतलब within the body.
Yes.
From within, right? उसमें तीन. First one is enteroreceptors.
Enteroreceptors.
It is from all the internal body organs.
Okay.
If you feel hungry, you feel thirsty, you get a pain from inside, ऐसा कुछ भी abnormal जैसा हो जाता है शरीर में तो वो enteroreceptors.
Okay, got it.
Similarly, you have proprioreceptors.
What is proprioreceptor?
One is muscles and tendons. Do you remember that?
Oh, okay. Oh, this is related to
movements of the joints. Okay, tendons, muscles are being pulled, vibrations are going on. All these are detected by the proprioreceptors.
Okay, got it.
Third one is baroreceptors.
Baroreceptor.
Walls of the atrium, blood vessels. इनके वॉल के ऊपर ब्लड का प्रेशर होता है. बैरो मतलब प्रेशर. We use the word barometer if you remember.
Yes.
यहाँ पे एट्रिया ब्लड वेसल्स के वॉल्स पे होते हैं. तो अगर ब्लड बहुत प्रेशर पे गया, ब्लड प्रेशर कम हो गया, तो baroreceptors are able to detect changes in the blood pressure.
Oh, okay, got it.
The blood pressure they are detected and there is vasodilation or vasoconstriction as per the requirement.
Sir, what is vasodilation and what is
इसका मतलब है blood vessel.
Oh.
blood vessel dilation मतलब blood vessel के lumen का diameter बढ़ जाना. तो blood with slightly less pressure.
Okay.
So constriction मतलब blood vessel का lumen diameter छोटा हो जाना.
Correct.
According to the requirement, it will do that.
Okay, got it.
Is that clear?
Yes, clear.
All the types of receptors, everything is clear properly.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
So we have complete full discussion about the human nervous system, the PNS, the ANS, and within ANS, SNS and PNS again.
SMS. Yes.
Okay, and then we discussed about reflex action in detail, and we also learned about receptors and their types.
Receptors. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Next session we will discuss in detail about the structure and the functions of the human eye and the human ear.
Oh, tell me.
A full discussion. That will be
Okay.
the end of the first part of the lesson. Okay.
What do you mean?
We will go to endocrine system, the hormonal system. Okay. You understood how you have to learn, understand?
Okay, got it.
So,
For-
for now, in the next session.
Sir, eye and ears are 2 pages.
Yes.
Each.
There are lots of things, but they're interesting, very interesting.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Continue.
Yes.
Yes.